Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Hollywood Animals series here. Last episode, we were able to get the film school built, which was our image workshop, along with our boutique when we selected the boutique path, the policy. That was our reward was the film school. We've got a couple of actresses in there right now taking a master class, gonna up their ratings. And then we also completed the build of the freelance writer's office. Last time we were able to get Flat Bottom into pre-production. We'll get that filmed. We'll hopefully get that released in this episode. And we were given the opportunity to use Peter Lambert, the chief of police, as a musician in our films. And so we're going to try to get him into a film here at some point during this episode. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. And we're going to, again, we've got Flat Bottom now out of pre-production, getting ready to be produced. And it was a 7-0. We didn't lose anything there. We did drop a couple of points here, it looks like, on the artistic score, unfortunately. And that was due to the cinematographer, locations, and costumes and props. And we're going to assign security to that production, get that underway. We've got another one coming up here, the coin with 3 sides. That was a script that we had written, and we took that from a 5.5 to a 6.0, so that's a pretty good bump. Unfortunately, we took the artistic score down from 5.1 to 4.9, so that's not that big of a drop. Everything hit there. That's why the commercial appeal went up. And we've got another one coming up here in just a couple of minutes here. There we go. Drink from my skull. And in pre-production, we took that from a 5.0 to a 6.0 on the commercial appeal and a 5.0 to a 6.0 on the artistic appeal. So that actually was a pretty good bump. The only thing we missed was producers on that one somehow. And we have no more security left, so we're just going to start production. Hopefully, we don't end up with something that's going to happen on that particular film set that's going to require security. And you can see that we're down under $1.5 million. We're going to take a look here and see if we've got any script ideas. We don't really have any script ideas. Now, the other thing that we've covered the story workshop in the past. I don't think I've gone through the buy script. Well, I have gone through it a little bit, but I don't think we ever bought anything here. And so you can see some of these scripts, they have the commercial appeal and the artistic score here. You can also see how much basically it cost us to buy these scripts. And you can also see what kind of genres they fit, as well as potentially some of the freshness of story elements. And you may get a story element or two. You can also then take a look here and see what what the story elements are on some of these scripts. This one here actually does not look too bad here. This is $12,700 for a 6.4 and a 6.9. So we're going to purchase that and shelve it for now. This one here is not too bad either, at a 6.0 and a 5.3 for $12,000. And we're going to purchase and shelve that one as well. So we just bought $25,000 basically worth of scripts. Keep in mind, these guys get a monthly pay, right? So $4,400 a month, and it takes them a little more than a month to write the story. So some of these were cheaper than having one of our guys write them. So here's something from the mayor here. Fred Carpenter won the Los Angeles mayoral election with 60% of the vote, with his opponent Richard Stripes getting 40%. At the press conference following the election results, Carpenter took a jab at his former rival. I told him real friendly, Ricci, stay out of politics. It's dirty. You'll lose all your money and respect, and you'll get nothing but problems. But he wouldn't listen, and he made a fool of himself. What can I do? What can you do? All right, and we have an issue here on one of the sets. The leading actress doesn't eat meat, but in one of the key scenes, her her character is supposed to eat a rare steak. It's important to the plot of the film since it shows the heroine's character development, but Louise Smith is refusing to do the scene and insists the whole episode be cut. So there's a couple of options here, and because we have researched this, we can rewrite the scene so there's no steak. Might lower the quality of the film, but it's not going to impact anyone's happiness or loyalty. We could choose this one here because she is at 100 on both of these, and this is not likely to lower the quality of the film. Otherwise, it would show it here, I would think. I think what we're going to do, though, is we're going to rewrite it. So we've got 3 days left for the last 5 sunsets in post-production before it's going to be released. We've got Stab in post-production as well. So 2 weeks later, we'll have that one ready. And we're ready to go now with the last 5 sunsets. Let's see what we have here. So we started at a 6.3 and we dropped it down to a 5.9, and from a 5.5 to a 5.2. Well, a little bit of a drop there. We're getting the experience here for our folks, and we're going to select poster. Let's select that one. Let's set up when we're going to release this. 6 weeks, so it's going to start on Halloween weekend. Get these put in here. Get our film copies made. And then we'll get our ads out, our advertising. And you can see now we're quickly approaching that $1 million mark in our account, which is not a lot. All right. We've got a script here that's about done. We still don't have really any additional ideas. We do have all of these scripts have been completed and shelved, basically. We did buy a couple here, remember. So we do have some things that we can get into pre-production, but right now we've got 4 in production that don't know that I want to flood anything else into pre-production because I don't think we're going to have the actors and actresses. I don't think we're going to have directors and producers, so we'd have to hire out. So until we can get something in the theaters to make us some money, we're going to hold off, I think, on any new pre-production work. So this new script we were just handed from our writer is a 5.0 and a 5.3, so that's pretty good. Experience boost, and we're going to shelve it for now. As I mentioned, we don't have. Okay, so this was the training that was in the film school, and now she's a 3.0 actress. Her skill level has increased. Unfortunately, that's as far as she can go, so we can't increase her any further. And we have Stab now that is going to be ready for distribution as well. And let's see where we've got here what we did to this movie in post-production. So 5.0 to a 4.5, 3.9 to a 3.4. They dropped a half point each, unfortunately. And let's choose that one. Let's choose that one. And so what we're going to do, last 5 sunsets you can see is down here on its 4-week run, basically to run through from Halloween to Thanksgiving. So we're going to start this, I think, right after the end of that movie. And we're going to give all of our theaters going to drop this one a little further than what we dropped the other one. And if we need to extend the screenings for the last 5 sunsets, which is a better movie, we Won't be able to necessarily use our theaters for the 5th week, but we'll be able to potentially extend it. And this is going to give us a little more time here to get some ads going. So we're going to run the ads a little bit longer for this one. Going to cost us, and you can see we're now under $1 million in our account. Jane Fisher has increased her skill level after the training, so now she was at a 4.6, now she's at a 5.6. And so we have an actress available. And let's see what we have here for actors. We have a couple 6'7s, a 7'9. There's our 4'6. Well, I guess she was a 3'6 before, so she went up to a 4'6. Okay, so we have actors. We have full of directors. Again, we've got the ability now to have producers on 2 movies, and we have, in fact, these 2 guys on 2 movies. We have 1 cinematographer, 2 cinematographers available, so we can probably get another movie in post-production. So let's come over here, do our scripts, and let's start this one. And again, this has to do with that pipeline that I mentioned. We're trying to get that pipeline built. To where we'll always have something at each stage of production. So, and we have a 5.0 movie. So, I guess let's put him on it. And put him on that one. We're going to need to hire another actor potentially. This one here is not bad. 78. So we're going to get him for 3 movies. 19,000 for 3 movies, and we're quickly running low on money here, so we need to get some things in theaters, get some tickets sold. So I'm going to speed up time a little bit here. We got another one that's getting ready to go into post-production here, so that's good. We've got one in pre-production, 3 being produced right now. Here's an upgrade to our production department. We can hire an auxiliary film crew to speed up work on the film. And so now we opened up, if you remember in an earlier episode, we had an issue with an emergency search for a double or an emergency search for technical personnel or emergency search for location. So we can potentially do one of these. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to use the emergency search for double and try to get that done. So this actress, her contract has expired. Looks like she wants $31,000 for the year. Let's see. She wants $42,700 for 3 movies. And since we're quickly approaching that $500,000 mark, we're going to pass on that. This actor is a 4.9 and he wants $14,800 and $20,000 basically for 3 movies. With our discount, it comes down to 18. So we're gonna take him again. 6,000 a movie. He's even less expensive. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep him as well, even though he's only a 4.2. We could, in theory, put them into the film school, right, and raise both of those guys, and that might be what we do. She wants $42,000, and I don't think right now we can afford to do that. So I'm going to pass on her. We've got The Quiet that's ready to go to post-production. So after filming, we took it from a 4.6 to a 4.8. So a little bit of a bump there, and a 4.2 up to a 4.4, and a little bit of a bump there. So that was good. We're getting some experience for the folks that worked on the movie. So he had just basically, this actor has reached his limit. He has maxed out. Happiness of the cast and crew was one element there as to why it went so well. I'm gonna hold off, actually, I think, on our police chief getting his music in a film, because I think we have maybe a lower rated film. We don't. That was probably our chance. For film school master class, we're going to put him in. I thought we had another actor that we had just renewed. She's almost reached her capacity. She's basically a star away from reaching hers. So we're going to just do the one actor in film school. Okay, we don't have any scripts going yet, so we go to the story workshop, which we haven't visited in a while. Just going to name it something goofy, because I don't know what we have available. Detective, thriller, maybe setting, modern American city. We have some additional elements that were created earlier. So detective, let's do criminal mastermind. We could do a sidekick, perhaps. There hasn't been a movie made in a while. I'm looking at these now and thinking maybe we need to rethink what we have here. Yeah, okay, so the cop and a sidekick. So here's some of there's Runaway. Someone had produced that, apparently, I guess. Search for a Killer. This was a Vivid Violence movie. Let's do Shootout, Vivid Violence, and let's do Bank Robbery. We've got one more. The antagonist gets killed. Let's do Antagonist Gets Punished. I'm going to select our screenwriter. We're going to use the thriller screenwriter and have him get started on that. And you can see now we're down 244,000, 226,000. Some kids snuck onto the set last night. They broke the props, smashed the lighting equipment, and smeared tar all over the costumes. We'll have to stop filming until we fix everything. We managed to learn the identity of the hooligans almost immediately. There's some boys from a nearby ranch. So we could do this. My friends can convince their parents to pay for the damage. Filming will stop for 15 days. It would be a good lesson for them if their ranch burnt down. We could do this one too. And keep in mind, this is because we're friends with who we need to be friends with. Filming's going to stop for 15 days no matter what. I think what we're going to do, though, this is the only one that doesn't cost us any money. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do that. And then I think what we need to do is perhaps take out a loan. I paused the game here just momentarily. Well, we've got 4 days left before this hits theaters, so we're going to play this out without taking the loan. We're going to be under $200,000 in our account at the release of the film. Okay, so we got a B, not a B minus this time. There's a 3-star. There's a 2-star. So that's not bad. Would have been better if we'd have had maybe another 3-star in there. All of the heads are getting their their experience, and then as well as some of the other folks that had worked on the movie. He achieved a new level, one of our actors. And going to see how well that does after the first week. Yeah, so whenever our studio's account goes into the red, the studio's reputation is going to drop. So we're going to start to lose reputation points here the longer our balance is in the red. I should have taken the loan actually, because we won't get the money into our account until that first month of run. So we increased on the commercial appeal on this movie. We decreased by 1/10 of a point here on the artistic appeal. So that actually wasn't bad. That was pretty good. We did drop because of the producer and the cinematographer. We do have someone available for security on that set, so we're going to get that one going. Okay, so 100% attendance. We were the number 2 ranking movie for the week, but again, we're short on funds here. We're still going down. We dropped some reputation there. Hopefully. Okay, this second week we didn't drop any attendance. We're still at 100%. We did drop screenings though, remember. As par for the course, kind of how we've been doing it here. We'll see if we're actually in the green after week 3, and we are. We did drop a little bit, but we dropped only 500 screenings, but we only dropped 3% of our audience, which is really, really good. So that one, I think we're probably going to extend. Okay, maintenance has researched the power plant, and we will be building that as soon as we get enough money in the bank to do that, because that is one of our bigger expenses, and we're going to get him started. So we're going to knock off 200 days basically by using some of our influence points. We can use up to 10% because of our head of maintenance. So we're going to drop that down to 880 days. That's another big expense, is our water usage. Protesters gathered at the gates of the White House at the release of the film Bloody Sunday, sequel to the controversial hit Bloody Saturday, that demanded censorship of the theaters. The protest ended in clashes with the police. Bloody Saturday is a Western about 2 murderous deviants who kidnap and torture women in the American frontier and always get away unpunished. The chairman of the Society of Morals and Ethics, Jane Gringley, also criticized the government as she told City Lights, quote, "This film clearly has the backing of someone in the establishment. It's their way of teaching Americans to think we can be killed, robbed, and raped, and no one will ever do anything about it. But rest assured, we will ensure that films like that are never shown in theaters again," end quote. So this is going to bring apart another piece that we're going to be voting on in the alliance very soon. That's going to be a precursor. Okay, so we did make money. We did drop off a little bit, but that's a better drop off than I had anticipated. So we are going to set up distribution. We're going to rent out 1,500 theaters. And let's see, we have 685 theaters the second week. So we could do 515 to rent. That gives us 1,200. We could drop this down to 1,000. And then this down to 750. And that's all due to the fact that we have another movie coming out, right? Stab. We're going to bypass that. So now we got money back in the bank, $500,000, basically. New protests sparked by the film Bloody Sunday have broken out in Montgomery, Alabama. Dozens gathered to burn down a downtown movie theater, then started smashing the windows of nearby stores as police fought their way through the smoke-filled streets. Respected Montgomery native Joe Green stepped in. A social Activist known for his stance against the immortality and violence that Hollywood is breeding, Green was able to end the riots in under a minute. Quote, "If we burn down this movie theater, they'll build 10 more in its place. Believe me, brothers and sisters, that is not the answer. They have felt our wrath. Now let them hear our words, decisive but thoughtful, harsh but clear," end quote. USA Post reporter Lars Kripke, who was covering the riots, wrote that Green had the crowd practically hypnotized. Quote, "Until that moment, it seemed like the riots would keep escalating until the whole of America burned. But Joe Green's speech offered hope for reconciliation. If anyone can mediate the divide between society and Hollywood, it's this man," end quote. So Stab was a B- movie. Got a 3-star there. Again, Bone Grinder is the one that continues to basically tank movies for all intents and purposes. A couple of 2-stars in there as well. Our head of production leveled up. And so we're going to give the speed up to the studio. Get some more experience here. Nobody else leveled up, though. And we're going to get that out in theaters, and we've got a problem here on the one we don't have security on. Lawrence Mills is demanding an expanded backstory so viewers will see his character didn't just become an evil boss overnight, but because his tyrannical father kept him locked in a dark closet. There's a couple of options we can do here. We're not changing anything. Decrease his loyalty by 20. His loyalty right now is at 48, so that's probably not a good idea. Let him just say, "I was locked in a closet, so now I'm evil." That's enough. That lowers the film's artistic appeal. His loyalty will increase by 10. That's probably not a good idea there either. Great idea. Let's add some new scenes. Raises the film's artistic appeal. The whole filming schedule will be 20% slower, but his loyalty will increase. And we can do that because of the research that we've done earlier. It allows us to do that. We've unlocked that at this point. So we're going to choose that one. And our protection from police raids has expired, so we can go do that again, and we very well may here shortly. Let's see if we can get a week of Stab monies in the bank and see what that has. This is on the movie Flat Bottom that we needed to get out. Following tradition, the film crew threw a party in honor of shooting 100 reels of film. Some of the team was poisoned by low-quality alcohol they served, and they didn't come to work. So we could keep shooting with the ones who were left. That's going to slow us down for 10 days, although there's only a day left, so that's not going to matter. We're going to wait until everyone is fully recovered. We don't want to, so it's going to wait 15 days. Not a huge deal. We've got another one that's finishing up post now. We've got another one that's going to hit post, so I think we're okay here. And Congress has ratified the 21st Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, repealing prohibition. All federal restrictions on the sale and consumption of alcohol today have been lifted. So we're not likely to be poisoned anymore. Our studio folks aren't likely to be poisoned anymore in their wrap parties for the alcohol that they drank. In post, we took The Quiet from a 4.8 commercial appeal to a 4.4 and a 4.4 to a 4.1 in artistic, unfortunately. Our director got a new level, and he's maxed out. And let's do this one for The Quiet. And we could put this to premiere over Christmas. Well, we can't, actually, because we would need the time to print the copies. I'm going to put it right here. This isn't that great of a movie, so we're going to drop this one considerably here at showings, just in case we need the extra screens. Could come in handy. Get our ads set. Confirm that. And let's take a look here. So, unfortunately, we didn't make a lot of money this week because we had to rent some theaters, some showings, and we did drop in Stab. We did get 100% attendance here, so there's a pretty good chance this one will make us money as well in its first month of release. During a meeting with reporter, Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives Marcus Risley raised the possibility of introducing censorship in Hollywood. No decision has been made as yet. We can't simply repeal the First Amendment for one specific industry. Various options are currently being discussed. So we could have censorship coming. We've got a couple of movies here that are finishing up. Here's our friend the bootlegger. The idiots in government never stop screwing over honest businessmen. I just laid my last competitor to rest when those start letting everyone sell booze again. The courts in this country worked fairly and not just according to the law, then I'd be due considerable compensation, moral compensation. I do love it when things are moral. Also had to screw around with business registration. The lads and me almost fall to knives when it came to the official name. We settled on the Doyle Family Company. You think that sounds respectable. There's nothing here. So let's get another. Okay, so we've got some movies here ready for post. So we can probably get. So after filming, we took it from a 6.0 to a 6.2. That's pretty good. And a 4.9 to a 5.1. That's okay. And our folks got the experience. Happiness of the cast and crew was the green up arrow there. We'll put our best editor on it. And our best composer. We don't want to bring the movie down with police chief's music, so we're going to do that. Got another one ready for post, so we're going to get this one set up. From a 6.0, it didn't move, and from a 6.0, it didn't move. Everything's a 6 there, and so we're not going to have an editor for this one, I don't think. Yeah, that's the closest we have, and we've looked in the past, there's no other editors out here at this point. So we're going to pause that one in post. Okay, we dropped again, so we just made barely over what we paid to rent the additional screens for. So that one's going to end its run. This one dropped by half, even though we dropped our screenings. So that one's not very good. Let's see, what do we have here for ideas? Do we have anything? Our thriller writer is already writing something, so we need to get something else maybe in pre-production. And I think this Edge of the Seat might be a movie that we use for the police chief to get his music in. All right, so we're going to go with all 2-star locations on this. It's going to take a little longer, cost a little more, but hopefully. And we have a 4-5 producer here. We're going to get him on that second movie. We have a 6.0 director, so we're going to get him on that. We've got a 5.0 actor. We have 4.6 actress. He's got one movie left, so we're going to do him as well. Get that one started. Flat Bottom is ready to go to post. So we took it didn't move anywhere from either score, so that's okay. Would like to have seen something go up, but nothing went up. We maxed out our cinematographer, and we didn't move anything because the filming had stopped for 15 days. This one's going to post. We don't have an editor for this one either, so that one's gonna hang out in post-production for a little while. New story element, our head of the script department, because we researched this earlier, he brought us a new story element, protagonist reformed. And yeah, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here with this one. So that one is going to end its run. This one here, we're dropping off, even though we've lowered the screenings. So we're probably not going to extend this one. And we're going to lose reputation there because that one, public leader Joe Green, talking about Christmas, how he loves Christmas. And if you want to continue reading that, go ahead and pause it. I'm going to move on. So this is Stab. We're at 20%. So that basically is about 350 screens. We're going to end distribution there because I don't think we're ever going to make a profit on that movie. So it's an unprofitable film. We lose reputation there. This one, 3% of 750 screens. So that's had its run as well. That one was profitable. So in reality, our reputation is going to stay the same just because we took away 30, we added 30. So I'm going to be out on him. We're just over 500,000, but we are basically a month without something in the theaters. And I don't think we have an editor for this one yet. This is our end of year statements. We're now the bottom studio, as you can see. These are the movies this year. We did hit one here, the last 5 sunsets in fan favorites. So we get a little bit of experience for our heads of the departments. We need to wrap up this episode here pretty quickly here. We got another new script. A 6-2. And a 5-6. This was the one that we had from the story workshop. So we're going to go ahead and get this one started in pre-production. This is a 6-2. Let's get him on it. Get this sound stage. Get all these selected. That one's a 3-star location. That one's a 3-star location. Set the film technology and the sound technology up. Give them plenty of crew. And unfortunately, we don't have a producer that is a 7.0 or higher. So let's see what we have out here that's affordable. He's pretty affordable. One movie, he wants a 10,000, 17,000, 25,000 for 3 movies. So we're going to get him for 3 movies and we'll have him do this movie for sure. We do have a director. We're going to put him on that. We have an actor. Now we'll put him in that. A little bit of a stretch. We have as a 7.3, which is much. Here we go. What is this? This is a 5.4. He's cheap. He's really cheap. We'll put him in for 3 movies. 13,000 for 3 movies. And this way we can get this into pre-production. So now we've got 2 in pre-production, 1 in being filmed, 1 in post-production, 1 slated for release here very soon. We did have another building that we could build, and it's the power plant, right? But this is the cost, and we don't have that kind of money yet. So we need to get some movies in theaters, but this episode's getting a little long, as they all have been running for some reason. So I think once this goes to filming, once this goes to production, we'll end the episode there. And actually, what I think we might do, we're going to take out a 3-year loan. Now, remember, we did research that we could pay this off early if we wanted to. So I think that's the first thing we're going to do. The other thing I wanted to show you, I was talking about how it's one of our biggest expenses. So $6,500 a month goes out in electricity, right? So once we build that electrical plant, that's $6,500 a month we're going to save. Obviously, the rest of this, the pre-production work and all of this is much, much more expensive. But if we can save potentially $7,500 a month, or I'm sorry, $9,500 a month, almost $10,000 a month, that's going to help us. We're going to do that. And I think what we might do is actually $780,000. That would leave us with about 300 and something thousand. So I don't think I want to build that quite yet. Let the coffers build up a little bit. Edge of seat. Okay, so in pre-production, let's see what we took this to and from, and then we'll get this episode once this goes to filming. Well, we took it up a little bit. Almost a full point there. And only 0.3 there. Cinematographer and extras was the problem with that one. So we'll have security on it. And with that, I think we're going to end the episode there. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment below too. Again, this is new to me, guys. So if you would, please like, subscribe, comment below whether you like the game, don't like the game, like my presentation, don't like my presentation. I would certainly appreciate it. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.